Live here from the Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia. This is the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series live here on JCTV. I think we're going to have a good one tonight, Brett. This one, short track paperclip racing.
Yeah, Martinsville, always a fun one. Hopefully we get one of the cleaner Martinsville races we've seen. These next-gen cars tend to probably race a little cleaner here than we see in, for example, in the Pits News Truck Series, but always going to be a lot of beating and banging and tight, close-quarter racing in the hairpin corners here at Martinsville. Really a fun track to drive at. I think we're going to see a lot of close racing here tonight.
It is going to be a good one, I have a feeling. I'm Josh Coppernell, and that was the voice of Brett Bennett joining me tonight for Coast to Coast Cup Series. We've got a pretty big field tonight as well. So far, 26 drivers registered. You're going to see 27, but somebody registered as a driver instead of a spectator. But
yeah, that was me. Apologies, especially if it shows what time and scoring as the triple-digit number. That was my bad.
So
Unfortunately, iRacing gives you two options: one to register as a driver, and one to register as a spotter. And if you're not paying attention, it defaults registering you as a driver. But yeah, we got a good field here tonight, and I'm not surprised we got a decent turnout here tonight. The mid-season madness tournament getting started here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. 32 drivers officially entered in that. I mean, obviously it appears not probably all of them going to show up, but a lot of the drivers here tonight, and we'll bring that up and on tonight. There is some points that go into it that we probably won't be able to tell you the exact winner of every matchup unless the higher seed's ahead, but we'll try to keep you informed of what's going on with that tonight here as well as we go through tonight's race.
yeah, the format for this is really crazy. It's not just finish ahead of your opponent, you advance to the next round. There's points involved, but it is possible for lower seeds to beat their higher seeds. One thing that I do know is if you win the race, it doesn't matter how many points are scored by your opponent, you automatically advance. So right here, 32 seed, which is moving up. Say he goes out, wins this race tonight, he knocks the one seed out of the bracket.
And I'll be honest, if I'm the one seed Zachary Thornton, I got to be a little frustrated with the way this bracket shook up. Luke Knupp is the 32 seed, not because of lack of speed, but just because he has not raced very often here in the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series. And as we've seen on Tuesday nights in the slide job racing, Luke Knupp always a threat to win anytime he's out on track. So I think that could be one of the drivers to watch here tonight. But yeah, we got a lot of interesting matchups here, but that's just one of them.
Currently atop the board is Luke Mahone, driver number 5. And it looks like some drivers trying to set a fast practice lap down, even though it's not allowed in the race, just trying to broadcast stain it. Saw the number 12 of Ethan Eckert. Not sure if that's what he was doing, but saw him in the ball. And I know sometimes, drivers like to hop into practice sessions and do some crazy things.
Yeah, and that is why Luke Mahone is currently the fastest in this practice session. He did a Ross Chastain lap. So the fastest actual time is Zachary Thornton at a 19.5.01. So our points leader, Zachary Thornton, hoping to continue his strong season here today. Some drivers we got towards the front of the crowd. Will Cloud, he's got a new paint scheme here tonight. Got back in Microsoft Paint, turned out another one, and he's currently third fastest. Malachi Drake 4th, Brian Lorenzo 5th, and then a couple JCTV regulars, Dane Cruz and Luke Knupp. towards the front of the leaderboard as well.
Little Cloud with the mid-season madness on front of his car.
Yeah, great work on that paint scheme. On the Toyota Camry, as you see the back of the car, Toyota equals L, Chevy greater than Toyota. Questionable going against your sponsor like that, your manufacturer like that, but let's see it love to see that paint scheme.
I mean, I agree personally about that Chevy is better, but
Honda's better than all of them.
Ethan Eckert jumps to P2 on the board, and you're just saying that because that's your daily.
Well, no, I'm not saying that because of my daily. My daily for a long time was a Toyota, but having experienced many cars, and my personal experience is Honda and Toyotas make really reliable cars, and Hondas are more fun to drive than Toyotas. But yeah, Ethan Eckert goes second fastest. I believe he also did a Ross Chastain lap. Cody Webster actually's run a 19.482 to go third fastest. I don't think that would have been a Ross Chastain lap. And in fact, that was a regular lap. So Cody Webster, currently the fastest driver who didn't run a lap, just riding the wall. Cody Webster here tonight is the 15 seed taking on Traver Burns, the 18 seed. And just for a quick explanation of how it's working with the seeding, it's a little complicated, but it's not super complicated. Basically, the number of points that every driver enters this race with is the inverse of the seed they are. So, for example, the 1 seed has 32 points, the 2 seed starts with 31 points. The 31 seed starts with 2 points, and the 32 seed starts with 1 point. So if you're a lower seed, if it's a bigger seed disparity, you need to outscore your opponent by more points. Then like the 16-17 matchup, Devin Frank versus Matthew Miles, Devin Frank just has to outscore Matthew Miles by 1 point. And just to real quick give you the list of matchups here, the 1 seed is Zachary Thornton taking on the 32 seed Luke Nupp. 2 seeds Bradley Sawinski taking on the 31 seed Connor Zola. 3 seed Brian Alonso, 30 seed Sean Kazane, 4 seed Cody Veras versus the 29 seed Tristan Troll, the 5 seed Michael Walls versus Greg Snellgrove, the 6 seed Wyatt Roberts versus Alexander Schumacher, 7 seed Andrew Robinson versus Patrick Lucchio, 8 seed Luke Mahone versus Will Cloud, 9 seed Luke Peters versus Brandon Fiedler, 10 seed Malachi Dirk versus Dane Cruz, 11 seed Brady Floyd versus Wes Gallo, 12 seed Aaron Brown versus ETB Ethan Fonseca Moreno, 13 seed Ollie Reyes versus Shaki Tarpley, 14 seed Eric Heater versus Ellis Wells, and 15 seed Cody versus Trey Burns, and 16 seed Devin Frank versus Matthew Miles. Apologies for the long list of names. It's a lot of matchups.
So lots to pay attention to over the next couple races here in the SAAC Coast to Coast Series.
Yeah, we're now up to 28 cars here. Well, 27 actual cars. But yeah, it's really looking forward to that. Obviously, this week at Martinsville. Next week, a track that I don't believe we've ever seen here on JCTV, the Chicago Street Circuit. I believe that it's JCTV debut. Then the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, if that's the oval or the road course, but Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I believe that's the oval.
It is
and
the
then
oval.
Yeah, I know they could race at both in this league. And then the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So, variety of tracks in this round. You got a road course, the rectangular oval of Indianapolis, the quad oval of Charlotte, and the street circuit at Chicago. So, a wide variety of tracks. Really going to test these drivers' skill in this tournament. And then these races also count towards the overall season. After this mid-season madness tournament, we'll start the playoffs and then look to determine our season 1 champion here this season.
So, I'm looking at this 42 scheme, and honestly, I think it looks really good. And I mean, this really has nothing to do with anything, honestly, other than just looking at the base keeping up with Brett. Have you ever eaten at a Quaker steak?
I have not. I think the nearest one to me is like just across the state border into Iowa, and it's a little bit of a drive. If I'm ever in the area, I'll consider it. Just I have not come across many.
So there's not one near me, but there is one when I traveled to some family's house. At my aunt's house, there's one not too far away, and I've been there a couple times. Oh my goodness!
I think you saw what I just saw.
I did.
I didn't know you could do that at Martinsville. Honestly, this has opened up all kinds of new possibilities for me as a driver.
I don't even know who that was because the camera was like in
It was
scenic or
it was
static.
Aaron Brown. I think we need a replay of that.
Well, practice is ending. We're heading to qualifying.
Unfortunate. But
Otherwise, yeah, because I'm not so sure the fans saw that. Honestly, it switched to like the blimp cam, and I just barely saw it out of the corner of my eye.
we can take a look at it eventually. I think that's something that needs to be shown on JCTV. An important learning moment for me of a way to cause massive accidents in practice.
Anyway, first out on track is Tristan Troll. Tristan Troll doing what he needs to do here, qualifying. Lap 1 is a 19.608.
Unfortunately, I cannot comment on people's lines that they're taking because since I register as a driver, it will not let me view people's qualifying laps. And it's just my fault. Early on, though, what I did see in practice, though, was drivers were struggling to put down super fast laps in their first lap and seemed to run their fastest laps in their second or third laps. Just, I think that's temperature in the tires. Early on, you're really sliding around at these next-gen cars. Still, though, Tristan Troll still listing as our fastest driver to run so far, but now Luke Peters, one of the strongest drivers all year, and we've seen him race, and he goes fast as a 19.512.
Luke Knupp, top of the board after lap 1. See what Luke Knupp can do on his second lap. And Luke Knupp, 19.506, lap 1 will be his fastest. 19.701 was his second lap. Just no improvement. Brian Lorenzo. Going slow through 1 and 2.
Yeah, he might be trying to warm up his tires here. I'm not sure. Interesting strategy here.
He's going full speed now.
Yeah, I think he was trying to maybe get some heat in the tires, maybe dragging the brake on that first lap. Interesting strategy. We'll see if he can play out. First lap was a 29.280.
It's blistering speed.
Yeah, very fast. He didn't quite look like he caught the bottom as well as I think he would have liked there in 3 and 4, but
11.
yeah, and he goes fastest, a 19.856.
Aaron Brown.
Recently became an astronaut. We saw that in the practice session.
21st fastest, a 20.05.
Aaron Brown, another driver. We've seen him have a lot of strong runs this year. He'd be going. He goes 6th fastest, a 19.619. You know, our points leader, Zachary Thornton, has gone 4th fastest. And our defending champion, Cody Rivera, is 3rd.
So Eric Keeter has already completed both of his laps. And I don't see anybody on track.
And interestingly enough, Michael Walls has not turned in a lap time. He did not run a lap in practice either. I don't know if he's just planning on maybe just starting this race. To be fair, he will advance in the mid-season madness just by turning a single lap here tonight, as his opponent Greg Snellgrove is, at least as of now, not in the session. Other drivers advancing due to their opponent not showing up, most likely Brad Sawinski, the 2 seed, the 3 seed Brian Lorenzo, the 6th seed Wyatt Roberts, and some others, which we'll get to later.
Let's take a look at the starting grid. And anyway, starting on the pole is going to be Luke Knupp. Luke Peters to his outside. Cody Rivera will start 3rd. Zachary Thornton in 4th. And Tristan Troll will start 5th.
Aaron Brown will start 6th. Dane Cruz in the JCTV 11 will start 7th, alongside the 08 of Cody Webster. Malachi Drake, P9, and then Ellis Wells, the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series Clash at South Boston winner, will start 10th.
Will Cloud takes 11th. Brandon Fiedler 12th. Ethan Eckert 13th. Brian Lorenzo in 14th. And Matthew Miles 15th.
Luke Mahone starts 16th. Patrick Coluccio 17th. Wyatt Roberts 18th. And Dre Robinson 19th. And our second place driver in points, Brad Sawinski, will start back in the 20th position.
Gabe Cazzola starts 21st. Brian Lucan 22nd. Eric Keeter 23rd. 24th goes to Shockey Tarpley. And 25th, Brady Floyd.
And then rounding out the field, drivers who did not record a lap time. 26th, the 17 of Michael Walls, back here on JCTV. Technically, I am starting 27th. I am not racing, so that is not true. But Wes Gallo listed as 28th. And then Traber Burns listed as 29th. He'll actually roll off 27th due to, obviously, me not racing.
So that is the starting grid. And ATVO being a little mean to me, but while these guys are starting to pace, Brett, who is your pick to win?
Well, I'm gonna have to go with the 29 of Luke Knupp. I believe we saw him win last Tuesday night here on JCTV, and I think he's gonna make it 2 in a row.
Well, he's looking to make it 2 in a row. I'm gonna pick somebody 2 in a row, and as soon as I can find his number. But Dane Cruz, I chose him Tuesday night, and it's a little interesting.
I beat him on Tuesday night, so that was a bad pick, and that was at a road course.
Yeah, it was an interesting finish. But this isn't a road course, and that's why I'm picking Dane Cruz again. I feel like he's been on a hot streak lately, pretty much tearing it up in every single league he's been racing in. He starts 7th tonight, and this isn't a road course, so I'm going with the driver of the 11, starting P7.
Yeah, and side note on Danny Cruz, just did a little bit of quick campaigning for him. I am really hoping he's going to be in the ITP and Truck Series next season.
I believe his iRating is too high.
We should get rid of that rule.
Anyway, green flag is in the air. We are underway here at Martinsville.
And a good launch from Luke Peters on the outside. He's going to have a shot at the lead here as they exit turn 1.
Luke Knupp holds try. He's going to spin! Contact out to the outside wall. Luke Knupp parked in number 12.
Ethan Eckert also got involved there. And that was not the start, and Luke Knupp's car looks to have severe damage after that. And he has left the session. So my pick is dead after less than a lap. And that looked self-inflicted from the 29. Looked like he just got it in too hot, slid up the track, and had contact with the 50 of Luke Peters. Well, definitely not what you want there if you're Luke Knupp.
Well, okay.
Yeah. So we lose the pole sitter. He's out of the race. Sorry, a little bit of a loss of words there. That was shades of Jonathan Parker, dare I say, at the Nashville Speedway in the NAOR series.
I wasn't going to say it, but you did, so.
Hey, I don't get to make fun of JP very often. He is a lot better driver than I am. He does not make mistakes very often, so it's fun to make fun of the very few mistakes he does. If you want, I believe we can probably get a word with Luke Knupp if we want.
Let's do it. Go ahead and dial him up.
Hey, Luke. Right here in the booth. Obviously not the race you were looking for there.
No, we just got checked and released from the infield care center after a hard hit. Just choked it.
Yeah, it looked to be shades of... We've seen Jonathan Parker do something similar before at Nashville. Looked like he just drove it in a little too hard. Did you have any warning before that happened, or just a little bit too much in the center? Or?
Honestly, like, I saw him drive it in deeper than me. I got on the brakes pretty early, and I was just trying to retain the lead, and it just stepped out on me in the center. I haven't had that happen to me yet, so definitely wasn't expecting that, but shouldn't have been overdriving like that so soon, but definitely unfortunate.
Well, unfortunate to see your night end here today. It happens to all of us. Anything you saw out there that you think we need to look for the rest of this race here tonight as we go forward?
Some more of that for sure. People overdriving, thinking they're the heroes on lap 1.
Gotcha.
Much.
Well, we're about to go back green here, Luke, but thanks for your time, and I look forward to seeing you again Tuesday night.
Yep, go Dane Cruz!
Green flag back out.
Oh, Rivera's trying to move Thornton up the racetrack, and there's a spin in the
we
back.
got a big
Dane
accident
Cruz
behind us.
involved.
I've got to blame Luke for that one.
Cruz definitely did not get the worst end of that, but Cruz was involved in.
He was the first car I saw involved. That actually started with the 6 of Tristan Troll. He got loose and then overcorrected up in the field. Wyatt Roberts also involved. We had a car spinning down into the garage area, it looked like. Large calamity on the exit of turn 2. Shades of the ITPN Truck Series this season. Not sure who that was who went spinning almost into the garage area. Wyatt Roberts was around. And that was the 52 of Brian Lucan. actually avoided all the tire barriers and got back going just to 360.
Oh, and that was all on his own too.
And I've mentioned this briefly during qualifying, but these next-gen cars on cold tires, Watkins Glen actually drives very similarly to a road. It doesn't drive like a road course, but the corners here are kind of similar to a corner you'd see at a road course. Heavy braking in a corner you really just want to you kind of want to late apex or center apex and maximize your exit. And on cold tires, that you just don't have the grip to drive it in as hard. And I think we've seen a couple drivers already in this race caught out by that. As you see right now, Brian Lukens and Traver Burns waving by the pace car. They're going to get back onto the lead lap. They were trapped by the pace car there, but not truly a lap down. So right now, Luke Peters, Zachary Thornton, Cody Rivera, Aaron Brown, Brandon Fiedler, your top 5. As I believe, maybe not yet. We're going to come into the choose soon.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking of the choose, so choosing is not at the start-finish line tonight. Which is being Martinsville, it is harder for drivers to catch up to the field. So basically tonight, the rule is going into turn 3 with 2 to go is when the choose happens. So as you see here, choose is happening. They are coming to 1 to green right now. So if you want the inside, you're going to take the light gray concrete. If you want the outside, stay high and then dark gray asphalt. And it's clearly marked in both turns. Of course, only doing so in turn 3, but you'll see the concrete, like gray concrete, and then the dark gray asphalt in some times. So, Peters taking the bottom, Cody Rivera's taking the top.
Yeah, he jumps from 3rd to the outside of the front row. I mean, that out top, we saw Luke Peters really make it work on the initial start.
And green flag is waving.
And a great launch for Luke Peters.
Great launch from Norton as well.
Yeah, they make it through 1 and 2 clean this time. Meanwhile, Aaron Brown, oh, we got caution back out on the track.
Gabe Cazzola.
Yeah, that rise to number 8 involved. Looks like Eric Heater just dove it in a little deep under him and got him in the left rear. He's spinning around. Cody Rivera has changed restarts to single file following that incident. So we'll go single file here. And unfortunately, it appears Dane Cruz has disconnected from the session. So Dane Cruz, also a DNF, not a great night here for the Luke Nup Racing teammates.
All right, so Brett, who's your pick to win?
Well, I'll take Luke Peters now. We've seen him get out in front of these races, and really look strong. He did it at South Boston, ended up getting passed late, but still, and then we saw him dominate Sonoma. Track that, while a road course has some turns, especially that hairpin, very similar to the turns of this track, so I'll go with Luke.
All right. I'm going to go with Cody Rivera, so sorry, Luke and Cody, but times are coming up.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know, in all honesty, I don't know in the entire history of 4 years that I've been doing this, if we have ever had our picks to win out of the race as soon as it begun, pretty much. Like,
yeah, not a great showing from our picks here, our initial picks. Luke Nutt made a mistake. Dane Cruz just looked like he got taken out through an incident that was no fault of his own. So, unfortunately, they just don't last very long here today. Meanwhile, though, we now got Luke Peters out in front of this race, and if he can keep getting restarts like he's been getting, it's going to be hard for people to get by him.
So as mentioned, restarts are single file now, so they will not be choosing any line. And I imagine the lights on the pace car are going to come off this time by, and they are.
Yep. Yep, 1 to green. By the way, quick shout out to Eric here. He's worked his way all the way up from the 23rd position now up in the 9th in the top 10. Really, I think the key to this race has been to not be a driver in the Slide Job Racing League. We've already seen Luke Nutt, Dane Cruz, and Gabe Cazzola all have issues so far tonight.
So here we go. Leader in the restart zone. Green flag is waving. Back underway. And caution is out. Gabe Cazzola.
You gotta laugh sometimes. And Gabe Cazzola has left the session, continuing the great run of Slide Job Racing League drivers in this race. He just got loose off of turn 4 on the restart and turned it into the outside wall. Not ideal. Nobody else was involved, at least.
If I'm Micah Walsh, I'm scared.
It's Micah, though. To be fair, Mike is also a Slide Job is also a In the Pits News Truck Series driver, so that could counteract. We don't really know. We don't have the data on that yet.
That 17 already has some damage on it.
Yeah, I think pretty much half the cars in this field have damage on them already. Luke Peters still leading. Not really any change of position on that restart. We didn't have enough time to make any position changes. We'll keep rolling here. Eventually we'll get going and get some green flag racing in, hopefully. Unfortunately, you see this sometimes at Martinsville. This isn't a difficult track, but at the same time, it's really easy to get in trouble here. And you see it kind of time and time again. It's just, when you get this many cars on such a small track, you're just going to have people getting into each other, people going around. So, yeah, we'll see what happens as we prepare for another restart here.
4 cautions for 18 laps so far, coming to 19 laps. We have 21 completed laps. Gonna have 22 completed laps now. Out of 200, and we are gonna see a stage at lap 70.
Yep, we do have a stage coming. We'll see if we can maybe get some green flag running in here as Luke Peters gets ready to lead us back to this green flag.
So let's see if chat can do better than us. So chat, our picks to win, our legit picks to win, are 26th and 28th out of the race. So guys, we gotta know. I mean, obviously the race has already started. We are 1 to green. Gonna restart with 176 to go. So guys, who do you have? Who's your pick to win? Maybe have some better luck than Brett and I with our picks. Pace car working its way to the safety of pit road. go slap sled tonight. Go to the pace car driver. Peters.
Yeah, strong run so far for the driver of the pace car.
Luke Peters. Bringing us back to the green and some shuffling happening behind the leader. Oh, we got one around. Brandon Fiedler.
Oh, we didn't even make it really back to the green there. And unfortunately, it's one of those races right now. Yeah, he just broke loose on exit. That was, I don't know if he got the curbs. I'm going to take a look from another angle. But, yeah, he barely clipped that inside curb, and that just spun the car around on Brandon Fiedler. He was having a nice run up inside the top 5, up in the 5th position. That's going to drop him all the way to the back of this field. As once again, the caution flag flies here at Martinsville. And we've seen some people ducking on the pit road here. I'm wondering if, I don't know what the fuel looks like here, but I'm wondering if we're seeing drivers consider maybe, you know, ducking on pit road, make a quick splash of fuel and maybe have enough to make it to the end. But then again, if we're pacing this much, you're not gonna make, you're gonna probably make it on fuel anyway if we don't get some green flag running here.
Wes Gallo going to be the lucky dog.
And as we come up to this next restart, the record we're trying to beat right now for the longest green flag run of this race is 3/4 of a lap.
A couple weeks ago at Darlington, we saw 17 cautions. We're already at 5.
Yeah, I think this might, I'm hoping this is one of those races where they just got to start getting green. And once they get green, hopefully we'll be able to stay green. Just unfortunately so far, it's been a struggle.
Martinsville is a track as well, Brett, that you can, I mean, we already saw it once, but just get loose right off the exit of the corner, mainly turn 4, but it'll happen at turn 2 as well, and just be a single car incident and bringing out a caution. And you know, I think once drivers get into a rhythm, we're going to see more and more green flag runs. It is just a fact of, you know, getting the tires warmed up, starting off with these cold tires. It hurts takeoff a lot. So give it a few laps, and I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's just got to get going, and hopefully we'll see it before too long. Lights on the pace car off once again.
So Luke Peters bringing us back to the green flag. Inside the restart zone. Party of flagman's waving it. We're back under green.
We already had somebody spinning in the background, but thankfully it stays green.
And it was Mike Walsh.
That's about right. Continuing on, actually pressure for the lead right now, as they have completed a green flag lap.
And Thornton actually hit the wall coming off 4. He was all over the place. Smacked the outside wall. And
He's able to keep it going, and now that we're underway, hopefully we can stay that way. Luke Peters out to a little bit of a lead now over Zachary Thornton.
Now Thornton trying to hold on to second. He's got Cody Rivera's behind him. Thornton's still struggling a little bit.
Yeah, he's just trying to find his rhythm right now. Meanwhile, Luke Peters out front just ran a 19.2 second lap. That was 0.3 faster than our pole speed. So Luke Peters, it might just be the tires, or it might be the fact that the tires, the temperature, are having all these heat cycles, but several drivers running way faster than they were in qualifying. Our entire top 4 faster than full speed right now. You know, Aaron Brown looking under Cody Rivera for that 3rd position. He's going to take it.
Let's put Aaron Brown into 3rd. We did see a pass for 11th pretty quick around half miles.
And now he's settled in. It's going to be fun to watch. Before too long, this track is small, and the leaders will quickly come up on lap traffic if it can stay green.
And right now, leader entering 3. Last car on track entering 1 as leaders at the start finish line now. Luke Mahone putting pressure on Matthew Miles, trying to take 12.
Yeah, meanwhile, Cody Rivera's, Aaron Brown, Cody Rivera's, and Cody Webster all under a blanket for that 3rd position. Cody Webster just kind of riding there right now, but as I mentioned earlier, we do have our mid-season madness tournament going on right now, so that's what I really look at right now. And Cody Webster, a driver who actually could really use a good run here today. Traver Burns, only a 3-point advantage going in for him, so he's having a really strong run so far as he continues to put the pressure on to Cody Rivera.
Brandon Fiedler back in 16th. Saw him trying to make moves. He's looking underneath Traver Burns, but not quite close enough to...
The only thing I'd be concerned about right now if I'm Luke Peters is how much is he using those tires? He has been running maybe a 10th faster lap than almost every other car in this field. But I gotta think back to the clash at South Boston. We saw there, Peters was the fastest car for the majority of that race, but at the end of the race, he just did not have the tires under him. And the way this race has been going, and based on the way this next-gen car typically wears tires, if we get a caution, I would not be surprised to see a mixture of pit strategies in terms of tires. Because a lot of times track position here will be desirable to being on fresh rubber.
We know we're going to see a caution in about 26 laps.
Meanwhile, Luke Peters is getting very close to the tail end of this field. Right in front of him, Tristan Troll and Will Cloud are going side by side. Will Cloud still in the lead lap. Tristan Troll, first car, 1 lap down right now. And the leader is coming. And we'll see if Will Cloud here will fight him or he'll just let Luke Peters go on around. They see that 05 with some damage to the right front. He was pretty fast in practice, and probably real disappointed about the 05. He's just going to let Luke Peters go around in, put him a lap down. You know, up in front of them, we got a car way high out of the groove. Appears to be the, not sure who that was. That was the 18 of Patrick Coluccio. He is 3 laps down right now. And we got a caution.
Luke Mahone around. He got tagged by Traver Burns.
Traver Burns actually looks like he was a late arriver. Big con with the outside wall for the 5 of Luke Mahone's. It looks like he started to get loose in the center and then overcorrected, parking on the outside wall, and then Traver Burns locks it up into him. Well, after the incident, unfortunately, that's going to be a required repairs for the 5 of Luke Mahone. He was having a decent run. He was running up in the 13th position when that incident happened. And we will go back to double file restarts for this next restart. Several drivers coming down pit road here, including the 08 of Cody Webster, giving up the the fifth position to come down pit road here. And I'm wondering if Cody Webster's maybe thinking to try to go the rest of the race on this stop, because if I remember right, having driven this track before, the fuel window typically is about 150 laps, give or take.
We've seen drivers win league races without even coming down pit road.
That's how I got my league win a few weeks ago at Nashville Fairgrounds. At these short tracks, I am a big proponent of track position over everything. At Bristol, ITPN at Bristol, I came close to being in position to win towards the end of that race by not coming down pit road on some late cautions too. It's just new tires will be a little faster, but a lot of times they won't be faster than clean air. And that's really what you got to consider when deciding when to pit or not here. But by the way, Will Cloud was our free pass under that caution flag. He gets back on the lead lap. That leaves Tristan Troll 1 lap down. Luke Mahone is still on pit road now, 3 laps down at least, and Patrick Lucio currently 3 laps down, still on track.
We are a quarter of the way through this race. 6 cautions for 29 caution laps. See these guys choose it.
And Zachary Thornton chooses the outside lane here. Gonna look to try to get alongside Luke Peters on this upcoming restart.
So the pace car is in. Field in the hands of Luke Peters. Inside the restart zone, Luke Peters, he hits the loud pedal. We're back under green.
He got a great jump, and Aaron Brown got a great jump with him. He's going to look to take that second position, and he is going to succeed. Aaron Brown, the second. Ellis Wells up to 5th, and then we see Brian Lorenzo and Eric Heater side by side for the 6th position right now. Oh, we got a car around into the wall, but he keeps it rolling. Another car around. That looks like it was the 08 of Cody Webster and 30 of Matthew Miles, both having problems there. Both got sideways, but we're able to keep it going. No caution. We stay green.
Right now, Cody Rivera's though, he's looking to try to put pressure on Thornton.
Yeah, we do have a battle right now for the 14th position. Malachi Drake and Michael Walls now, and Dre Robinson looking to get by Michael Walls for that 15th position. Mike is struggling a little bit here early today, and he's able to slot back in line in front of Dre Robinson. Meanwhile, Cody Webster getting around Will Cloud for the 18th position, now going to look to go to work on Wes Gallo.
Inside of Will Cloud. Jerry Burns to the inside of West Gallo.
Jerry Burns moving up to the 18th position. He was also lapped down earlier in this race. I'll still see that damage on the 05 of West Cloud. He's probably going to, Will Cloud, he's going to continue fixing that as we get, and hopefully get more cautious so he can continue to repair that damage. Meanwhile, by the way, the final, Luke Mahone is still on pit road. He is now 10 laps down. Other thing to look at right now, Aaron Brown actually doing a pretty good job of sticking with that 50 of Luke Peters since this restart. You know, probably closest battle right now, the 5th position, Eric Heater all over the back bumper of Ellis Wells. We got a caution.
It's Andretti Robinson.
With Andretti Robinson, he was running in the 16th position. Tried to dive it in deep under Michael Walls and just ran out of space. Got in the back 10 and went for a slide in turns 1 and 2. Able to keep rolling. Meanwhile, I believe that caution will result in Tristan Troll getting the lucky dog, and that will put him back on the lead lap here in the 6 machine. So we'll be restarting with approximately 5 or so laps left in the stage. I'm wondering if you see some people maybe dive down pit road here and then stay out at the stage break. But it appears everybody going to be staying out right now.
Towards back, Draper Burns, Will Cloud, Matt Miles, Andretti Robinson, Wes Gallo, they all come down pit road.
Yeah, and some of those, like Will Cloud, is still taking damage, so I think he's probably coming down almost every caution right now, just trying to get that car repaired. A driver who was probably actually pretty happy to see that caution was the 18 of Patrick Coluccio. He is now the only car on track that is laps down. He is 3 laps down, and now he will be in position for the lucky dog at the stage break and maybe start trying to work his way back in this race. We've seen drivers come back from multiple laps down at these short tracks that tend to have more cautions a couple times, especially in the ITP and Truck Series. I know you've done it a few times this season.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, both times that I've gotten super lucky to get all those laps back. The first one was at the Nashville Fairgrounds. The other one was at Bristol. Nashville.
We have not raced at Nashville.
Nope, you're right. I'm sorry.
It's IRP.
IRP. Same thing.
Nashville would have been a better race.
It was IRP. I was 8 laps down. Got back to the lead lap, and I was inside the top 10. I think probably would have gotten 8th or 7th place finish. Ethan Fonseca Moreno got loose right in front of me and got sideways. I ended up hitting him, and I didn't know how bad the damage was on my truck. But I wasn't going to pit because at that point it was only a couple of laps left. It was awful. We went back green. I could not control the truck, and it's a miracle I didn't spin out. I don't even remember where I finished, but it was not anywhere near where I was. The other one, Bristol. I remember I wasn't 8 laps down. I think I might have come back 5 or 6. Got inside top 10, and then that one was my own mistake, just spinning out and completely destroying my race. And then actually, Ryan C. Smith spun out, and I decided that he looked like a great target to hit. The pace
to be
truck
fair,
is
he didn't spin out. He got spun out.
Yeah,
Brian here.
Sure. Yeah,
there was contact, I believe, with Alonso Chicano. We're back green. And a better restart there for 35 Zach Jordan. Him and Aaron Brown going to be side side. Like, oh, tag! Big hunter with the inside wall for Aaron Brown. Oh, and he comes back up at the traffic and involves more cars.
So for Patrick Lucio, I'm not worried that I'm 3 laps down.
Well, he's about to be 2 laps down. Heavy contact there for the 08 of Cody Webster as well. he had nowhere to go. He got hit hard. Wyatt Roberts also was caught up in that incident, it appears. No required repairs, though, for Aaron Brown, at least, so he's going to be able to at least keep rolling in this race.
I'm surprised that there was no required repairs, because I'm actually, we'll watch this replay of this here. Aaron Brown is coming down pit road in that inside wall. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that there's no required on that thing. He has a broken toe link and he can't even drive it straight.
Well, there's no meatball, at least, and to be fair, that really should have been a one-car wreck. It looks like, though, he had the wheel hooked trying to save it, and then locked down and never turned his wheel back straight. And then when it actually got straight, it just took it right, and too late, got Cody Webster involved. Yeah, he definitely has a broken toe link, but I did see a meatball flag pop up, so interesting scenario there. But yeah, he's definitely going to go multiple laps down as you see drivers pitting here. I believe this will be considered the end of the stage, so our stage 1 winner going to be the 50 of Luke Peters. You know, though, a lot of drivers staying out under this caution period.
I want to know if this is pure coincidence or what. And I would think that it would be pure coincidence here. Was it last week? I can't remember. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to dox Bray here because we all make mistakes. Honestly, if you go to Out of Context Chasing TV on Twitter or X, you're going to find tons of mistakes that I didn't even include myself. This one I actually wanted to be on Out of Context Chasing TV, but it has yet to make it. So I'm looking at, as we're coming to 1 to green here, I'm looking at sponsor on Malachi Drake, and it says Drake Brakes. Brett's made an accidental call.
Freudian slip.
Yeah, I mean it was trying to combine 2 words, and well, not trying to, but it was accidental. It's just
Malachi Brakes. Everybody knows his name.
Malachi hits the Drakes or brakes, and yeah, that's.
Honestly, let's just go with that. That's a Bourbonism. Malachi hit the Drakes. If anybody knows, back in the day, NFL primetime on ESPN, Chris Berman, the king of coming up with nicknames for players based on a play on words with their name. I think that's got to be his nickname. Our current leader now, Malachi, hit the Drake.
Brett with the Bennett.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
Pace car is in.
And how about Michael Walls on the front row?
Malachi Drake.
And an aggressive start there from Luke Peters. He goes 3 wide to the bottom. He wants back to that lead quickly. Brandon Fielder noticed outside. Oh, caught to Eric Heater. And Eric Heater hard to the inside wall. Got Brad Suwinski involved. Lots of cars involved. Cody Rivera's is among them. Huge crash there on the exit of turn 2. Eric Heater has towed to the pits. His day likely probably done. By the way, Patrick Coluccio, we were talking about him under that last caution. He actually disconnected under that previous caution. But yeah, huge accident there. All got started with looked like contact between Cody Rivera's and Eric Heater. And Eric Heater has called it a night after that. He was 3 wide. Matthew Miles was the guy that got contact with him. Hard on the inside wall. Collected Brad Suwinski. A lot of cars involved. Cody Riveros, Brad Sawinski, looks like Cody Webster. Wes Gallo was involved. Brady Floyd. Andretti Robinson involved. Lots of cars caught up in that large accident there. Meanwhile, though, Malachi Drake tees the lead, followed by Michael Walls, Brian Lorenzo, and then Luke Peters up to the 4th position. By the way, the free passenger of that caution was Aaron Brown. He had went 2 laps down following that wreck on that brought out the previous caution, but he is now going to be back to being only 1 lap down. Brady Floyd lost the lap there while taking damage. He is now also 1 lap down. Eric Heater added the list of drivers out of the race here. By the way, Luke Mahone has exited the pits. He is currently back on track 18 laps down. Patrick Coluccio and Eric Heater both called it a night, so Coluccio looking like he'll most likely come home 24th, and Eric Heater most likely going to come home 23rd here tonight. The lights in the pace car are off. We're going to go green this time by.
And pace car is in. And it's Malachi Drake. Green flag is waving.
Good restart for both Drake and Michael Walls. Michael Walls going to pull down from Brian Lorenzo in that 3rd position, in the 2nd position. Lorenzo 3rd. Luke Peters slots in the 4th. Lorenzo and Peters on a little bit fresher tires, but not by much. Both Walls and Drake hit it pretty late in stage 1. You see Braden Fiedler going to move by Matthew Miles now for the 5th position. They're still side by side further back. Wyatt Roberts leading it by Brian Lucan for the 8th position. And Drake slips up a little bit. That's going to let Michael Walls get right to his rear bumper. Walls going to look to the inside for the race lead. And the caution is out once again.
Andretti Robinson.
And it appears Andretti Robinson turned down on Brady Floyd as Cody Riveros has made the decision for us to go back to single file restarts coming up here. Meanwhile, that caution will result. I believe Brady Floyd would have been the free pass, but he was involved in that incident, so I believe that means Aaron Brown will be back onto the lead lap. And in fact, that does appear to be the case. Aaron Brown. Going to pass everybody and get back on to the lead lap. Meanwhile, sub-drivers rolling down pit road. Cody Webster, Cody Riveros, Tristan Troll, Will Cloud, and Andretti Robinson, as well as Wes Gallo. The thing is, right now, I feel like Lorenzo and Peters probably the 2 strongest cars left up front, but Drake and Walls are going to be hard to get past. They are pretty strong cars, and both are pretty good at aggressively keeping people behind them. So I look forward to seeing how this is going to play out for them as we continue to move forward. By the way, a quick update. Further update on our Mid-Season Madness tournament. Aaron Brown has already advanced due to Ethan Fonseca-Moreno not racing here tonight. Shockey Tarpley also will advance, I believe. Yeah, Shockey Tarpley will advance. Ollie Reeves did not make it here tonight. Also, Devin Frank did not make it here tonight, so Matthew Miles will advance. other notes with drivers eliminated from this race, Zachary Thornton will advance over Luke Knupp. Malachi Drake will advance over Dane Cruz. And a potential Will Cloud, if he can gain enough points. Well, Luke Mahone's still running, so Will Cloud is not advanced for sure over him, and he would need some points there. Andretti Robinson will advance over Patrick Coluccio. Patrick Coluccio calling it a night. Ellis Wells very likely will advance over Eric Heater, points dependent, but with Heater out of the race, Ellis Wells most likely will advance. And the lights on the pace car are out here. It will be a single file restart right now, although Michael Walls maybe doesn't look like he knows that. Or maybe he's just playing some games here with that 09. Yeah, here's what he's doing. Just showing the 09 he's going to be willing to do something on this restart.
And the base car is in. Malachi Drake going to lead the field back green.
Green flag back in the air. Good launch from Malachi Drake, able to get away from Michael Walls a little bit. Brian Alonso and Luke Peters still right with him briefly there. We got a caution once again out on the track. And it appears to be the 7 of Aaron Brown, who had just gotten back on the lead lap, as well as the 5 of Luke Mahone, who is 18 laps down. And I don't know, Aaron Brown might have had a little help there. Nah, he just accidentally locks up the tires and just gets into the 5 of Luke Mahone. And that will bring out the caution flag once again. Brady Floyd, your free pass, he's going to get back on the lead lap. That'll put 21 cars on the lead lap. Only driver out on track now, not on the lead lap, is Luke Mahone, who is 18 laps down.
So
this,
go ahead, Brett.
So I was going to say, so with this caution, thought maybe might be worth discussing what we got coming up on JCTV here soon. As I believe, yep, still not one to go. This weekend, the Into Pits News Truck Series is going to be at the Dover Motor Speedway, one of my favorite tracks. And then next week we got a Slide Job Racing League heading to the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. Next week, actually, 2 races at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, both in Slide Job and the In the Pits News and the In the Pits News Truck Series, both there.
Chicago Street Course.
Yes, and Chicago Street Course next week in the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series. We will not have as many cautions at the Chicago Street Course. Last time we were at a road course, went caution free. Most likely we'll do so again at the Chicago Street Circuit. So Yeah, gonna be a little different next week. This weekend, a lot of pacing, unfortunately. It's kind of the nature of the beast at these road courses. As meanwhile, the pace car is off. We get ready to go back green. Malachi Drake gonna lead the field, the green flag. And Josh, I was just noticing this. I mean, maybe it's been that way for a while now, but pretty heavy damage to the nose of that 09 machine.
Yeah, I noticed it immediately as soon as he took the lead. Drake and Walls both. A lot of damage to the front of their cars, or, well, on the front of Drake's car and side of Walls' car. But we're under caution. One signal.
And this time, once again, it is the 45 of Andretti Robinson. He just lost it in the middle of 3 and 4. Hard contact with Cody Riveras. That's his teammate. And Will Cloud also getting involved. Some net code involved there. Aaron Brown will be our free pass. He lost the lap under that previous caution. He'll get back on the lead lap. Once again, leaving Luke Mahone the only car not on the lead lap.
So I've been looking up some stats, or some history rather. Try to ask some trivia questions, I guess, about Martinsville Speedway. And so, Brett, I mean, whether you get these right or just have a weird guess out of left field, I'm going to ask you, and hey, maybe you might be able to find something to ask me. And chat, I mean, you guys too. Pitch in your guesses. So this first one, this is tough. Martinsville Speedway has been around forever. It is one of the oldest tracks on the NASCAR schedule that's continuously been around. This question this answer rather, maybe a little bit obvious, may not be, but who was the very first winner in 1949? Very first winner at Martinsville Speedway.
I was hoping you'd ask the year, because I could have given you that one for sure, but I'm just going to guess Red Byron. I know he won at least, I believe he won 2 races that year en route to the championship. I'm not sure if it was at Martinsville, though.
We'll see if anybody in the chat wants to guess. Maybe next caution I will give the answer.
In fact, I believe Martinsville Speedway at the time was all asphalt. The concrete was a more recent addition to this track.
That is actually true. Martinsville Speedway. Oh goodness, I learned this quite a while ago, so hopefully I'm correct on what I'm about to say. But what it was the whole track was asphalt, but the tires kept tearing up the track in the corners, and so to prevent the track from getting continuously getting torn up, they added concrete down into the corners so that it stopped happening. I don't know the year. I could not tell you that without looking it up. But yeah, concrete not been around since the beginning. Pace car is in, still single file. Restart.
I get some more facts on the concrete when we come back here when we get in our caution here. But yeah, Malachi Drake could hold the lead. I gotta think his strategy is stay out under that stage break. Maybe a very true strategy the way these cautions have been coming. As we go back to green flag racing. A bit of a checkup. A little further back, Malachi Drake able to go with the lead. Michael Walls, Luke Peters is up to the 3rd position. He actually got by Brian Alonso. And he's all over that back bumper of Michael Walls right now.
And looking to the inside, but not quite able to make a move.
Michael Walls is going to... Oh, yeah, Michael Walls drove it in too deep. Yeah, I was about to say, Michael Walls, you know he's going to drive it in deep, trying to defend, but drove it in a little too deep. That lets Luke Peekers get under him to the second position. Now under pressure from Brian Lorenzo for third.
Oh,
Brian
Brian
Lorenzo
Lorenzo
almost spins. He saves it. But that's going to drop him all the way down the running order. Brandon Fiedler to fourth, Zachary Thornton the fifth. Meanwhile, Luke Peters now all over the 09 of Malachi Drake, and he's going to look to the inside for the race lead.
And he's there. To the inside.
He's going to get it. Luke
Peters.
To talk over there.
New race leader.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over there, Josh. Yeah, Luke Peters to the race lead, and he's been the strongest car here today. Took him a little bit to get back to the lead due to all the cautions. But yeah, you see them run here. Another driver taking a look at. Unfortunately, Aaron Brown got back on the lead lap, but I think that damage to that car is still pretty severe. He's almost 2 seconds a lap off the pace, and before long will be going back a lap down. Oh, Brandon Fiedler had a bobble there on the exit of turn 4. That's going to let Zachary Thornton come up. He's going to be side by side, and he's going to get by him for the 4th position. You know, we got a battle going on. Brian Lorenzo has been trying to now work his way back forward. He's side by side with Shockey Tarpley for the 11th position. Oh, big moment for Michael Walls.
Things going on everywhere.
Yeah, Walls got loose off the corner, was able to save it, but dropped back to the 6th position. Thornton, Fiedler, and Ellis Wells able to get by Walls.
Contact! It's going to be the 52 going around.
Oh, and there goes Traver Burns. That should not have been a caution when the caution initially flew. They threw that caution very quick to prevent that the 52 had it saved.
Yeah, Ryan Lukin, so we watch here, he got into the back of Michael Walls. It's going back straight.
Turns Traver Burns and Matthew Miles able to. And actually, we had another car involved further back. Brad Suwinski actually got together with Cody Webster. Actually, a separate incident early on in turns 3 and 4 there. And on that caution, Luke Mahone going to get his first lucky dog of the race. That's going to put him back to 17 laps down.
All right. So, last caution, I asked you the question, who was the very first winner at Martinsville Speedway? It was in 1949. You guessed Red Byron, and said he won 2 races that year, also won a championship. Of course, Red Byron is the first champion in the NASCAR Cup Series. The answer, Red Byron. He was the first winner at Martinsville.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a lucky guess. By the way, just a quick update. 1976 was when they paved the turns with concrete. And actually, by the way, that first race was run on dirt. The track was not paved until 1955. My question for you is going to be, do you remember the concrete coming up at Martinsville and which driver it knocked out of a chance of the win?
Do I get a year?
I will give you a decade. It was the 2000s.
Oh, man.
And I'll give you a year. 2004. The spring race in 2004. And for just a little extra information, basically a pothole formed in the track and a large chunk of concrete went through the valence of the leader.
Is it, Terry Labonte?
No, you had the right team. It was Jeff Gordon.
Oh, no. my
it was a
favorite
big deal
driver.
because NASCAR would not let them. They had basically, if I remember right, it was like an hour or two red flag while they tried to repair the concrete and poured some like quick dry and some quickcrete in the hole that had been created. Jeff Gordon's team was trying to convince NASCAR they should be allowed to repair the damage, but pretty sure they weren't allowed to, if I remember right. Obviously a long time ago. And Rusty Wallace ended up winning that race.
And you know, as we are back under green, by the way, Peter's the race leader for second. I was debating between Terry and Rusty, and ultimately going with Terry.
Unfortunately, by 2004, Terry Labonte was no longer really competing for wins. And actually, I believe that race was Rusty Wallace's last career win. Now we have a wreck in the back of the field. Will Cloud among those involved. Cody Rivera's was involved as well. Looks like Tristan Troll actually got the other Will Cloud, spinning him in front of Cody Rivera. Freddie Floyd also caught up in that incident. Luke Mahone once again going to be our free pass. That's going to put him back to only 17 laps down, I believe.
Well, I think the answer would be pretty obvious if I asked you this next one of who. So I'm not going to ask who. I'm going to tell you the answer to who was Richard Petty. So my question here is, Richard Petty is the most winningest driver at Martinsville. How many wins did he collect over his career?
I'm going to go with 15, but I am not sure on that one. I think it might actually be more than that.
$15 is the correct answer.
And fun fact about one of those, I'm just on the page for the one of the single races there. One of his wins, actually, 1971, it was controversial. His gas cap came off during the race, but was not black flagged, even though there had been incidents in that race of drivers getting back flagged for having a gas cap. That was back when it's really the stock car. They actually had gas caps they had to remove to add fuel to the cars under caution. They did not add the modern fuel couplers that you see with the fuel cans in NASCAR until 1974. So I've got a trivia question for you here, Josh. In 1984...
That was before my time.
Oh, I know. Jeff Bodine picked up the first ever win for what is now known as Hendrick Motorsports, and it was also his first career win.
All-Star Racing.
He won a close race over a driver looking for his second career win, his only win having come at a modern day plate track. Can you name that driver who finished second in that race? This is more an excuse to just talk about that driver, by the way.
The green flag is coming back out. 83 laps to go in this race. Peter's still the leader. Thornton second. In a battle for third with Lorenzo.
Oh, we got cars wrecking. Big wreck in the back of the field. Several cars hard on the outside wall. Malachi Drake among those involved, as well as Will Cloud9. That was a crappy attempt at a nickname, but
I was
we're
going to
with
say, I
it.
don't think he's on Cloud 9.
Yeah, no, I know. I wanted to try something there. It did not work. Tristan Troll's motor appears to have expired. Brad Suwinski, heavy damage. Big accident there towards the back of the field. Our second place point man's Brad Suwinski among those with heavy damage. I'm actually started off a turn 2. Wes Gallo got on the outside wall. Malachi Drake barely avoided him. Brad Suwinski caught Drake, and then they were 4 wide entering turn 3. And 4 wide at Martinsville was never going to work. Malachi Drake also appeared to blow his motor in that accident, so several drivers probably this day is going to be done, unfortunately.
All right, so 1984. Jeff Bodine collects his very first career win for a team known as All-Star Racing, current day Hendrick Motorsports, who finished second.
And the driver who finished second had 1 career win, which had come a few years prior at Talladega.
Oh, goodness. You know, I feel like it's going to be a name that should be so obvious.
It's not super obvious, I'll tell you that. You've probably heard of him, but you won't have heard him a lot. I'll even give you the car number that he won his race in and was in at Martinsville. It is the car number that won this year's Daytona 500.
Oh. Of course you bring that up.
In fact, I believe it was the only win for the 47 car before JTG Doherty Racing owned it. I will have to double check that one, though.
I don't know. I was going to say Kyle Petty, but you said it wouldn't be that obvious.
The driver only had 1 career win.
Oh.
I'll go ahead and give it to you. It was Ron Bouchard.
Yeah, I was never getting that.
His 1 win actually came at Talladega in 1981. In that race, Terry Labonte and I believe it was Darrell Waltrip and Terry Labonte were side by side for the win coming to the start-finish line. He was 3rd in the tri-oval, and as you know at Talladega, the finish line not in the tri-oval. He passed them both out of the tri-oval and won the race. And Darrell Waltrip actually said the reason he did not try to block Ron Bouchard was he thought Ron Bouchard was a lap down. And he won the race in the photo finish over Waltrip and Labonte. And actually, I was wrong. That was not the only 47. Actually, 47 is a fairly successful number in NASCAR. 26 total wins. Morgan Shepherd, Ron Bouchard, Dick Hutcherson, A.J. Foyt, Jack Smith, and Fonty Flock all won races in 47. If the pace car's off, we get ready to go back in. I rebound for review that caution.
Oh, goodness.
Zachary Thornton, our points leader there, big trouble off of turn 2 and caught it with the inside wall. He's able to keep going though. Brian Lorenzo takes over the 2nd position. Michael Wall's on pit road. I think he said he had a black flag that he wanted cleared. I'm wondering if they didn't clear it and he's having a certain penalty here. Either that or maybe just on road second to Michael Walls. Meanwhile, big Luke Peters has pulled out to a decent lead. By the way, Wes Gallo was eliminated in that last accident, so leaves us with 18 cars running at the moment. Ellis Wells right now all over the back bumper. Brian Alonso for a second position.
Wells not quite able to make the move.
Yeah, and Ellis Wells now with pressure from behind from Brandon Fiedler. Fiedler having a really good run here today, running up in the 4th position. In that pink car, as most people know this month, Breast Cancer and Cancer Awareness Month, October, typically that, so you're going to see a few people running pink cars.
Ellis Wells drives in a little deep. Got the back Lorenzo a little bit.
Yeah, and just to update, Michael Walls did appear to have a 30-second hold penalty. He is now 3 laps down. He's one of 4 cars on track. 3 cars on track laps down. Will Cloud 1 lap down. Michael Walls 3, and Luke Mahone 17. You know, Luke Peters out to a big lead, out 2 seconds now. Closest battle on track. We got a gaggle of cars running for that 6th position. Brian Lukens, Trader Burns, Zachary Thornton, and Cody Rivera. A little bit kind of off a few cars. Zachary Thornton going to look to the inside of Trader Burns, and he appears that he will take this 7th position away from the 02 of Trader Burns. Cody Rivera's going to try to follow. Trader Burns going to cut that off. And Rivera's actually going to look to the outside of the 02. Well, Wes Gallo has actually exited his pit stall after sitting on pit road for 6 minutes taking repairs. He's going to pull back on track. He is currently 16 laps down. Luke Mahone has also exited the pits.
Oh, Sharky Tarpley! He got sideways. He got help from Cody Webster to save his car. I think Tarpley was about to go towards the inside wall if it wasn't for the help to straighten his car out. But
yeah, Luke.
Oh, and now Brady Floyd. He was sideways underneath Sharky Tarpley. Floyd's still struggling trying to get his car going straight.
I was about to say, meanwhile, the leader has counter lap traffic. He's put Will Cloud now 2 laps down. To say Brad Sawinski's returned to the track. Actually, sorry, he's not returned to the track. He's also put Aaron Brown a lap down. Meanwhile, Ellis Wells all over the back bumper of Brian Lorenzo for that 2nd position, but Brandon Fiedler right there as well. Meanwhile, Luke Peters almost over a straightaway in front. He has also now put Luke Mahone an 18th lap down. Also, Malachi Drake just exited his pit box, and he'll rejoin the race 21 laps down.
Brian Lorenzo holding on to the position over Ellis Wells, who's looking to be outside, trying to take 2nd place away. Ellis Wells drives it deep off the corner from the outside.
Not able to do anything there, and he's got to be careful because Brandon Fiedler's still looking right behind them.
Zachary Thornton driving it in deep. He's going to get into the brakes hard. Lucan moves up. They're going to be 3 wide coming off 4.
Yeah, Rivera's supposed to be inside here. Traver Burns, Brian Lucan stuck up top, and Lucan's going to drop from 6th to 9th in the course of 2 corners. Thornton up to 6th. Cody Rivera looks like he's going to try to get by Traver Burns here for 7th. Lucan's actually had a big bobble there off of turn 2. Rivera's still not clear. Traver Burns doing a good job of fighting on that outside lane, but he's now going to be cleared by Cody Rivera, who's up to the 7th position. You're seeing as this run progresses, Ellis Wells, by the way, still right on Brian Lorenzo, and I got to think he's got to be starting to feel probably a little impatient. Luke Peters is just pulling away out front, and if Wells thinks he's faster and has he's going to want any chance of Brian Lorenzo if this race stays green, which admittedly would probably be a tall ask than what we've seen so far, but he really is going to want to get by Brian Lorenzo pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Luke Peters back into more traffic. He's putting Brad Zulinski, who's returned the track now 23 laps down, and he's going to look to get by Wes Gallo, who is currently 16 laps down. And the caution is out once again. And that was for the 17 of Micah Wall's contact with the 20 of Brady Floyd. Honestly, should not have been a caution in my opinion, but iRacing decides it is. And once again, we'll have a restart here in just a minute. Our free pass here will be Aaron Brown. He'll be back on to the lead lap. Zachary Thornton among those coming down pit road here, along with Matthew Miles, Cody Webster, and Grady Robinson and Brady Floyd. Question here is, if you're Ellis Wells, how aggressive are you on this restart? If I'm anybody behind Luke Peters, I almost feel like I have to do something on a restart to have a chance of getting by him. He is pretty clearly the quickest car left here. I think we're gonna have to look out and see if we're gonna
So we are 1 green. Pace car working his way to pit road. Green flag back out. Ellis Wells did not get going.
Yeah, great launch there for Brian Lorenzo. Ellis Wells now under pressure for Brandon Fiedler for that third position. But Wells able to hold on. Fiedler fourth. Wyatt Roberts up to fifth. Oh, caught it between Roberts and Rivera's, but able to keep it straight. And Luke Peters once again going to set sail out in front of this field. I still got to wonder if those tires are ever going to fall off on that car. That's the only thing I can see keeping him from winning this race right now.
Cody Webster underneath Cody Rivera's. Webster.
Rivera's actually caught the wall a little bit.
Deep. Tuck in the line, and we got to spin it. Thornton
Gordon, we just seen him come down pit road. And unfortunately, he was looking under the 28 of Brad Sawinski, and maybe a little bit of net code there. Either that or he just got loose. Loops it around. No contact. He's just going to keep it rolling. But caution flies once again here at the Martinsville Speedway.
Hey guys, it's Jonathan from JCTV. Here at JCTV, we currently broadcast 3 series. On Tuesdays, you'll catch the Slide Job Racing League featuring drivers such as Dalton Kilroe, Dane Cruz, and Jonathan Parker.
And real quick, we are 3 wide for the race lead. Hawkins, Wygent, Happy Act, they went 4 wide for a moment with a lap car.
On Fridays, you'll see the NAOR series featuring Nick Happyack, Chris Wright, and Josh Arnold. As that happens, here comes the 5 through the middle right now. He's going to force the issue and take it
4 wide! 4 wide!
God!
What a move by Justin Durand to go to the race lead!
On Saturdays, you can find the In the Pit News Truck Series featuring Justin Durand, Zach Probst, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno. To book JCTV for your own league, please visit us at jctvracing.com and contact us for your booking. Remember, race fans, you can always watch racing live or anytime over at JCTV's YouTube channel.
Hey! No!
Every sip gets you closer. It's Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey.
Hey to you. A chance to meet Jeff Gordon.
You okay, Justin?
Millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
A right side tire chase full of fuel, and you heard the...
Okay.
And pace car's in. Leader is coming from the restart zone. Green flag back out. That outside line did not get going. Great restart out of Lorenzo behind leader Luke Peters.
Yeah, Cody Webster started second. He's going to be side by side with Ellis Wells out of turn 2. Oh, caught it with the inside wall for Brian Lukens, but he might be able to keep going. He's going to go into the pits, and we got a caution anyway. Luke Mahone spins, or not, sorry, Luke Mahone, Shock Tarpley spins out. Caution out once again here at the Martinsville Speedway. So some more Martinsville facts while we're under caution here. Actually, the first NASCAR winner at Martinsville was not Red Byron, but in 1948 it hosted a modified race, as NASCAR's actually first series was the modified tour, not the strictly stock series that later became the NASCAR Cup Series. And Fonty Flock won that, and the all-time winningest driver, Richard Petty is the all-time winningest Cup driver, as we mentioned earlier, but the all-time winningest driver at Martinsville Speedway, Ray Hendrick, winner in the modifieds as well as in other series such as the late models and smaller regional series. He had 20 wins at Martinsville Speedway.
All right. Well, you asked me a question similar to this, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask you this. 2014 Martinsville saw Dale Earnhardt Jr. collect his first grandfather clock. Who was the rest of the podium?
You're gonna ask me a question about when I wasn't following, when I was out of following NASCAR. I actually went through a period. That's my senior year of high school, so I was pretty much in high school. I was not following NASCAR at all. Just family didn't care much about it, so I didn't care as a result. I'm gonna go with a little bit of a weird one. I'm gonna go AJ Allmendinger because he randomly finishes on the podium at Martinsville once in a while. And it seems like the kind of, if you're trying to trick me, that's going to be the kind of guy who's on the podium. And then we'll go Gordon.
So Gordon was on the podium, but Gordon finished second. AJ Allmendinger, I have no idea where he finished in that race, but it was not on the podium.
And that's, I thought you might be trying to trick me there. So let's go Jimmy Johnson then.
Nope. It is a big name.
We have chosen now, as we're going to get one to go here.
It's Michael Kruger's favorite driver.
Tony Stewart?
Tony Stewart. Base car is in. Peters. He's back to green.
Oh, we already got a wreck. They're going to keep a green. Fiedler got in the wall. Fortunately for Fiedler, he's having a really good race. Alonso up the second. Ellis Wells looking like Cody Webster and take third. Caution is back out on the track.
It was a spin out of Trevor Burns.
And that started with Brandon Fiedler, though. Trevor Burns actually got in the back of him on that initial start, and that checked everybody up. Actually, Brad Sawinski got spun up into the wall. I think that's actually what brought our caution. Trevor Burns might have gotten spun too, though. But yeah, Trevor Burns then also went around. Multiple incidents there. Back under caution. Once again, 35 laps remaining here at the Martinsville Speedway. So another fun Martinsville fact here, the Xfinity Series at Martinsville actually used to run 3 races at this track a year, adding a third race in the they would run 3 races, some supporting the Cup races. They would have usually 2 non-Cup race weekends, and they would actually be called a 500. They would call it like the Winn-Dixie 500 or the Winston Classic, and it would be 500 laps of racing, but it would be a combination event with late model races and other events that would add up to 500 miles. It would be like combination of modifieds or combination with Xfinity with late model races, which, you know, we still see late models racing here at Martinsville occasionally. Still one of the biggest events of the year. And then I'm going to ask you another question here. Josh, who is the all-time lap record holder in the NASCAR Cup Series at Martinsville?
Jeff Gordon.
No, I mean in terms of fastest lap.
Oh.
There's actually there's 2 correct answers here. There's the traditional fastest lap and the actual fastest lap.
Jimmy Johnson holding it?
No. I will give you a hint. One occurred in 2014, the other occurred last year.
The one last year. Yeah, Ross Chastain.
Yeah, that is the fastest ever lap. It's faster than the qualifying race lap record. The qualifying lap record, Josh, is held by Joey Logano. He set that in the March race in 2014, back in the, I believe that was the low downforce, high horsepower package. Meanwhile, the pace car is off. We get ready to go back to green here. Luke Peters and Ellis Wells making the front row. Another good jump for Luke Peters. Better jump from Ellis Wells. He's going to be side by side of Brian Lorenzo for that second position. They work through 1 and 2. Side of extra. Several cars side by side. Hopefully we can keep it green here. Big lock up there from Cody Webster in the third position. He's going to almost slide in front of Cody Rivera. They're kind of checking up off the corner for that second position. Meanwhile, another driver to keep an eye on, Zachary Thornton, who pitted pretty recently. As well as Cody Webster, both of them have pitted pretty recently and have worked their way up to the 4th and 7th positions respectively on almost 70 lap fresher tires than our race leader. I know we said earlier tires maybe don't matter a lot, but pretty big difference is caution once again will fly.
Brandon Fiedler, spin off of 4.
Yeah, Fiedler was kind of train of cars there. Big check up in the middle of the corner. Caught it with Matthew Miles, and around goes Fiedler. Caught it to the inside wall. Caution once again out here at Martinsville. And actually, as I was saying that the tires really matter, Luke Peters, that last lap before the caution, actually ran the fastest lap of the race at a 19.221. So maybe tires not mattering that much. 105 lap old tires for Luke Peters and still running fast laps. Then again, I had something similar occurring at Bristol in the trucks where I was running my fast laps of the race on over 100 lap old tires. So a lot of it, when you get a lot of these races that are just caution, a lot of times it's almost better to have older tires. The heat cycles tend to really take off well. They will fade though pretty quickly.
Still 26 laps to go in this race.
So just to give some more fun facts, because what I got right now, so I'll ask you a quick trivia question. What state are the Martinsville clocks currently made in? Or at least the company facilities that make the clocks.
I feel like I should know this, and I know I've heard this before, and I want to say something, and I'm afraid that I'm going to sound extremely stupid saying this if it's not right. And I feel like you're asking me this question on purpose, Brett. So I'm gonna go with the great state of, well, let me be honest, it's not all that great, but Michigan.
It is the great state of Michigan. In fact, actually a place I have family. It is made in Zeeland, Michigan, near Holland, Michigan, on the shores of Lake Michigan.
Zeeland, Michigan. So is that the
Part
old
of a-
Zealand?
What?
It was a bad joke, just never mind. Keep going.
Well, it's named after the province of Zeeland in the Netherlands, which is what the country of New Zealand is the new of. So, kind of.
Okay. Oh.
In case people are wondering,
Bad jokes with Josh.
You know, it's been that kind of night.
So
I know, Josh.
Real quick, Brett. So to answer your question from chat, if my telemetry is correct, it is correct. Caution number 20 for 100 laps so far is what we ran. There are still 22 laps to go, and we are one to green.
I'm going to do some checking for you here, Josh, during this caution. I am wondering if we're seeing a JCTV record here tonight for number of caution flags. Not counting special events, because that dirt race we did, I think had 50 cautions. I might be wrong. It might have been way less than that, but
green flag is back out. Yeah, if we run the rest of the race green from here, half this race will be ran under caution. If we see another caution lap, then more than half of this race will be under yellow.
Brian Alonso actually got a good jump there, kind of staying with Luke Peters here. Meanwhile, Elliswell's third. And caution. Caution once again on the track. Luke Peters still leads. This time it is Wes Gallo going around.
And Andretti Robinson.
Wes Gallo went around with help from Will Cloud, hard enough with the inside wall and the outside wall. Kind of looked a little bit like Joey Logano getting turned by Matt Kenseth. I don't think it was the same implications there, but I know what it looked like. As it looks like,
there
well...
was two different incidents there, because I'm seeing Andretti Robinson.
If you look, Will Cloud on the back of Wes Gallo. I'll go look for Andretti Robinson, too.
Oh,
Actually,
okay, yeah.
Floyd.
Yeah, okay. Now that I'm looking back at it, so Wes Gallo got slideways there. Andretti Robinson.
Yeah, and then Andretti Robinson had the spin with actually it started with Brady Floyd getting loose, and then in reaction, Andretti Robinson getting sideways. Caution flag flies once again. We're under 20 to go now. So, by the way, one reason I bring up that is some of you might know here I'm mostly Dutch in terms of my descent. Got a lot of family up in Michigan and the Chicago area as a result of that. Pretty heavy Dutch immigrant population there going back.
I just want to say, as a Michigander, we do not have a Chicago area. Chicago is not in the same.
No, I know Chicago is in Illinois and Indiana.
Actually,
if you go
it's
that kind of area though around Lake Michigan, up into Michigan, a lot of Dutch immigrants settled around that area. But yeah, so back to JCTV. I am, as we speak under this caution, I am actually going to our resident statistician, Dawson Allen, seeing if he can get me an update on what is the record for caution flags on JCTV. Unfortunately, you just see this at Martinsville. I'll be honest. I've run a lot of races at this track. I like racing here. The problem is so many of the races here turn out like this. It's such a tight track. It's difficult, and people just make mistakes. Actually, this last caution did surpass the number of cautions we had at IRP this year in the Independence News Truck Series. That was 20 cautions. Only 16 in the race at Martinsville. In fact, actually, I can't confirm. We have for sure not broken the record. We had 22 cautions at USA International in ITPN this season.
And the pace car is in. 14 laps to go at the line. Peters.
It's a good launch. Brian Lorenzo kind of stays with him, as well as Cody Webster. They do get kind of nice and spread out. That's probably a good thing if we want to stay green. Although Brian Lorenzo getting a little better on these restarts, staying with Luke Peters. I still wonder if Luke Peters, maybe those tires have been wearing a little bit on that machine. Luke Peters kind of started to pull away from Brian Lorenzo. Wyatt Roberts under fire for the 6th position from the 35 of Zachary Thornton. And Cody Rivera is now looking. Cody Rivera is going to look to the inside of Cody, try to get the inside of Cody Webster, looking for that 4th position.
Ten laps to go. Rivera's holding it behind Webster for now.
Still, everybody kind of holding serve right now. I think a lot of drivers probably just want to race. Oh, we got a wreck in the back. Caution is out, and Andretti Robinson and Will Cloud involved as we go under caution for the 22nd time here today.
And I feel like Andretti Robinson has been involved in about 12 of them.
He's been involved in quite a few.
I give props to him for sticking the thing out, though.
No, I don't think you can call it any driver. Just like I don't think you could have called it any driver at USA International Speedway in the Independent News Truck Series, which had the same number of cautions, 22. I am totally not saying that because I had 56 incident points in that race.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. I'm not saying anything about Andretti Robinson driver. It's this. But
the problem is when you have races like this, and is that you have a race with this many cautions. If you're not at the front of the field, you're going to get caught up in a lot of them. It's just the nature of the beast. That's why, like, for example, I got 56 incident points at USA. I was not fast at that track. I was struggling. Some of the incidents were my fault, but I also had a lot of incidents where just people in front of me would wreck and I'd have nowhere to go. This is the nature of the beast. That said, we'll go back to a double file restart here with, I believe, 4 or 5 laps, I believe, will be remaining when we go back to green flag racing.
see if they choose this time. It is currently 6 to go, so it won't be 5. If they choose this time, it will be 4 to go when they go back green. Otherwise 3, and I'm guessing, unless everybody has taken the bottom, that there is going to be at least one more. And yeah, lights are still on the pace car.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens here. Actually, Cody Rivera has now changed it back to single file, so we will not be having a choose. Maybe a good decision seeing how this race has gone.
drivers just took the one to green, and I just want to use this time. If you're still here, thanks for sticking it out, and also big shout out to our 501. I just looked, 501 subscribers on JCTV. The fact that we got to 500 is absolutely insane, and I am excited to see that number. Thank you guys.
Honestly,
so
the more
much.
the more exciting number right now is that we have 11 people who are still with us despite the number of caution flags tonight. It's been a long night here. I know it just happens, but thanks for everybody for sticking with us.
And 3 laps to go. Back, I saw why Roberts, Thornton, they're side by side.
Lorenzo, it looked like he was staying with Peters, but then kind of faded there. Now Ellis Wells trying to get by him, and Luke Peters kind of clean sailing out in front. He's going to go in the 3 and 4. He just hopes to see that white flag.
White
but we got a
flag
spin. Caution is out.
waving.
Multiple spins. Lorenzo around. Rivera's around.
Barney had it waving.
It was definitely out. There was multiple cars spinning way before the leader got to the line. And there was 3 separate spins. Rivera's got in the back of Cody Webster. Cody Webster spun. Then Rivera's gassed it up and spun out himself. Meanwhile, Brian Lorenzo looks like he just got loose off of turn 4 and spun out. Caught it with Ellis Wells as well. Oh, and big contact between Brian Lorenzo and Aaron Brown. So our 23rd caution of the race. I believe a new JCTV record. And we will have a green-white checkered here tonight. And different driver running second. Ellis Wells maybe has something for Luke Peters. Meanwhile, Wyatt Roberts up the 3rd. He's done a good job. Zachary Thornton 4th. Shockey Tarpley 5th. And then how about Aaron Brown all the way back up the 6th? He was earlier in this race almost 2 seconds a lap slower due to damage he sustained in that accident he was involved in. But yeah, so let's see what happens here. Got everything changed up here as we get ready to.
Overtime brought to you by C2 Graphics. Most of the graphics that you see on JCTV are made by C2 Graphics, including the ticker and just about every spinning logo on that ticker as well. Except the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series logos. But this is a custom built ticker by Cameron Baldwin, C2 Graphics. It also makes paint schemes. Anything pretty much I drive. That you see at the end of the Super Series. Those are all made by C2 Graphics. If you'd like graphic design made, whether it be a paint scheme on iRacing, go to his website at Cameron Caldwell myportfolio.something.com.
He needs to get a little bit catchier URL.
Well, I think it has to do with school or something. I don't know how the
I don't know how that works. I suggest the URL Cameron. Actually, I'm not going to make fun of him right now. Let's the pace car off, pace car in as we get ready to go green here in overtime. Peter's going to bring him down slow.
And green flag back out.
Decent jump for Ellis Wells. going to try to stay with Luke Peters. Meanwhile, Zachary Thornton looked to get to the outside of Wyatt Roberts. The question, though, will they make it back to the white flag?
White flag waving, Wells around.
Wells around. No caution, he took the white flag.
Wells is rolling on the front stretch. Track is clear. Peters through 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waving. It is Luke Peters taking the 24 Hours of Martinsville win.
Luke Peters wins. Honestly, I'm glad they didn't throw it, but that should have been a caution. Wells was definitely around before Peters got to the start-finish line on 1 to green. We got cars still wrecking on the front stretch. Brian Lorenzo still has not made it to the line. Ellis Wells around, Brandon Fiedler around. Lorenzo now crosses the line. But Luke Peters, your race winner here tonight. And I don't know if we're going to have our winner here. I know last time Luke Peters won, he was not available for an interview. We'll see if I'll add him and see if we can get him in here. And while I'm on it, drivers advancing in the, as far as I know, in the Midseason Madness tournament, Zachary Thornton, Bradley Sawinski, Brian Lorenzo, Cody Riveras, Micah Walls, Wyatt Roberts, Andretti Robinson. I believe Will Cloud may have advanced over Luke Mahone. We'll have to wait for confirmation on the points on that one. Luke Peters, Malachi Drake, Brady Floyd, Aaron Brown, Shockey Tarpley. I believe Ellis Wells has advanced over Eric Heater. Well, once again, have to wait confirmation on that one. Cody Webster and Traver Burns, I am not sure. Traver Burns beat Cody Webster. There was 3 points separating him going in, so that I'm not sure how other points played out there. And then Matthew Miles advances.
Go ahead and take a quick look at our finishing results. There we go. Luke Peters takes the win. Zachary Thornton P2, Wyatt Roberts third, Shockey Tarpley fourth, Aaron Brown fifth, Will Cloud sixth, seventh. What a recovery for Michael Walls. Eighth goes Brady Floyd, ninth Traver Burns, and 10th Cody Webster.
Coming home 11th is the 36th Cody Riveras, then Andretti Robinson, Matthew Miles 13th, Brandon Fiedler 14th, Ellis Wells was second, coming to the white flag, and actually I thought was going to have a shot at Luke Peters, but loses it coming to the white flag. He comes home 15th. Brian Lorenzo takes home 16th. 2 laps down. Wes Gallows 17th, 16 laps down. Luke Mahone 18th, 18 laps down. Brad Sawinski 19th, 22 laps down, and Malachi Drake rounds out our top 20, 29 laps down.
Brian Lucan 21st, Tristan Troll 22nd, Eric Heater 23rd, 24th is Patrick Coluccio, 25th Gabe Cazzola, 26th Dane Cruz, Ethan Eckert 27th, and Luke Nubb 28th.
So I don't believe we will have our winner here today available for an interview, unfortunately. I am not seeing him in a chat in this server right now, so. I'm just standing in victory lane and there's no one here.
And I'm not seeing second place available either. Zachary Thornton. So, Brett, we kind of touched base earlier on races that are happening, upcoming on JCTV. But go over that again real quick. We do have Dover, the Monster Mile, 2 nights from tonight. The Blazer Sim Racing Input News Truck Series. As we continue the playoffs in that series. Tuesday night, we head to the 2008 version of Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old version before the repave, and changes to the track to make it the super speedway that we know it as today. So that's going to be the old version. Chicago Street Course, 1 week from tonight for the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series, and then Saturday night next week will also be the 2008 version of Atlanta Motor Speedway, which will also be the finale of the round of 7, where 3 drivers will be cut, and we'll find out who our Champ 4 are going into Auto Club for the Blazer Sim Racing Intimate News Truck Series. I think that's going to do it from us here tonight in Martinsville. Thank you guys for sticking it out with us. I'm telling you, I'm worn out. Long day of work. I'm in Eastern time. It's 10:36. I've been up since 5 a.m. I am exhausted. So, thank you guys for sticking it out with us and bearing with my tired self and Brett too. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers and continuing to grow. You guys are awesome, and it means a ton to myself and the team. Speaking of the team, big shout out to the team, everybody behind the scenes for all that they do, helping JCTV get to where it is today. All drivers, admins, thank you guys for giving us a reason to do this and have fun doing it as well. And on behalf of Brett Bennett, I'm Josh Copperall signing off, saying so long, stay safe, guys, especially we're getting to flu season, and I know a lot of people, at least around me where I work, is getting sick. So I don't know what it's like where you guys are, but stay safe.
Yeah, definitely stay safe. I know here we're having some weather here, and I I work in emergency services on the side. I volunteer with that, and we've had a lot of people getting in car wrecks lately, just in our area. Stay safe on the roads. Don't drive distracted. In all seriousness, I mean, it's fine to run into people on the racetrack on iRacing in the fictional world, but don't do it in real life. And
Yeah.
stay safe out there, everybody.
So take care, stay safe, and we will see you next time.